Ms. Randa. I'm sorry you get to hear from me now again. It was a smooth transition. Be just fine. Okay. All right. Our next session will focus on applied research and innovation, a key area that drives the advancement of knowledge and real-world solutions of our academic community. Today, we are pleased to have Dr. Vladimir Brusic, the newly appointed Vice President of Applied Research and Graduate Studies. You might have received an email on a weekly basis from Dr. Brusic about research and ideas being happening. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Vladimir Brusic to the stage.
Thank you very much. How much time do I have? Okay, so I will be talking about research at Udst, past, present, and future. The first point is very brief. The second point is explanation of what you already know, and then we will see how we go together to the future. So how do I do that? Green button. Okay. So there is 5 parts of what I will be talking about, and I will be focusing on data analytics, because everything in modern world is about analyzing the data and guiding us about making decisions. It is all about the journey and knowing what are the right decisions and right practices versus what is chaotic environment. So about me, I'm a mechanical engineer actually, and continued into biomedical engineering, and I did it at Center for Multidisciplinary Studies at University of Belgrade. So interdisciplinarity is my early education. Then I changed the field and went into computer science in Australia, where I got another master's in applied science and information technology, and finally got a PhD. And I was already quite old when I got a PhD, so I thought I'm competing with 25 years old, what should I do? So I decided to do MBA, and I completed it. Part of that was in parallel with my PhD. Oh, sorry. I asked Copilot, who am I? And it says that I'm a prominent researcher in the field of vaccine development. It's quite a journey for a mechanical engineer to develop vaccines, but if you learn your stuff, if you know your maths, your stats, your math scientific method, your engineering principle, you will be able to do anything. And currently, my last project is I have been developing Smart Health Home as a part of community healthcare, and I gave a lot of talks in the conferences, like you can see on the left top. This was Innovation Conference, DCS Europe, Artificial Intelligence Biology, give public talks. This was in National Library in Singapore. And I also give interviews at national TV. So I do research and I like to talk about it. I worked and got appointment in many countries. So in each of these places where you see I left a piece of my heart. I'm still welcome at those places where I come, and I guess because of my age, this will be my last place where I leave parts of my body. And I spend the most of time, of course, in my home country, but the longest time that I spent in my work was 9 years in Harvard Medical School. And I had to leave for personal reasons. They were taxing me too much. Okay, but now we are at Udst. So let's see what we are doing here. So how does the world see Udst? This is Google, and University of Doha for Science and Technology was officially established by the Amiri decision of 2022, and its first national university that specializes in academic, applied, technical, and professional education. So it's still teaching university in the eyes of the world, and This is what we want to change. We want this to become comprehensive university that is ranked. And I guess my job is to accelerate this process. So, past, historic focus on applied discipline, align with Qatar's national priorities, collaboration with industries, emphasize technical and vocational. It's nothing different except that we are bringing to the next level. Present is that there are key research priorities that align with Qatar national goals and global scientific advances and create healthier, smarter, digitalized, and more sustainable communities. This is what we are doing now. And the future is, we don't have this kind of goals, but the future is to become one of the top 100 universities in the world. This is a mighty goal that we want to go, and even if we don't reach it, we will not fail. That's how I see what the progress is. Be bold and do your best, and the results will come in one or another way. So, strategic priorities. Everything that we do, we need to feed into strategic priorities. Advancing applied research, innovation, and sustainable development is number 2. The first one is enhancing overall academic excellence, but we also have fostering student development. We also need to strengthen community engagement and make impact, and we need to demonstrate effectiveness in that. So this is what we can read, but I start analyzing this. So the first two are core business. These are the pillars of academia. The second two is about societal development, impact of what we do, and the third one, the fifth one is about behaving responsibly in the process of doing that. Then, what are the research activities? Oh, there is a long list of that. On the left side are what I think hard. On the right is soft, although we may interchange them. So we have a lot of activities that we do. So this is very busy university, although it's very young. And we are trying to coordinate it. The problem is there's so many activities, and we need to have the framework, and the framework is not completing. We are at the same time developing the framework and applying the things. So it might create stress on some people, but the best recipe against, best medication against this kind of stress is the success. If we are successful in doing these things, we will be forgetting about it. When we climb the mountain, it's difficult. We climb, we sweat, it aches, we fell down, we break our knees, but when we come to the top, it's all worth it. So, ideal thing is we have 5 strategic goals and we want to connect them. When I plan my research activities, I look about what is my research outcome, how I will do the biggest impact on that. But how does this also enhance academic excellence? How does it foster include students? How do we strengthen communities? So I build my project around including all those elements, and how I do it cheaply, effectively, and actually bring the benefits to others. If you combine those two, this is called good management. Project management, and you put it on top of good science, this is how you become one of the top universities. Okay, so it doesn't have to be fully connected graph, because it's not necessarily the optimal thing, because we know that these are different things. The core activities need to be connected to everything, but the other activities need to pipe through the core activities to be most effective. So we have some optimization tasks here. So those who work on graph theory can help us how to develop models, and we can even automate these things. We can automate how we have to achieve academic goals. Okay, let's talk about research components. As I promised you, it will be a lot of data, and this part of research components, I did a part of that, but I inherited something. Thank you, Dr. Rashid, for passing. Somebody has done, and I'm just doing the slides to tell you There are some new people here, so you want to see what is available and what is current status. So, what is research first? Research is a systematic and creative process in acquiring knowledge and understanding. It involves basic research, applied research, and experimental development. I have to bold it, otherwise I may lose job, this applied research. And I go country by country. Australia. Generate new concepts, methodology, we don't care. I'm Australian as well. Serbian and Australian. Australians, we don't care about implementation, development things. It's a big country, we have resources. Can we understand about what we have? And this is the nature of the place of these things. USA and UK are different. They want to develop new methodologies and technologies because they're already developed, they're already technologically advanced, they want to develop better and deploy it. That definition is different. And China, Japan, and Canada are also, they put national priorities in research. So we do research, but research is a tool to achieve our national priorities. And these are countries that are still developing and want to make, to actually change the type of economy. It shows also. So Qatar addresses national priority through innovation and development across different fields, emphasizes collaborative research, applied research. That's why we are here. And applied research, by definition, means there is benefit to economy and society. And we also focus on innovation, commercialization, and sustainability because there are measurable outcomes. So that's an important slide, but we need to move on. So we have ARID, which is Applied Research, Innovation and Economic Development, and it's basically support directorate that takes care about administering research. So this is the things which are done: inform and set university vision and mission, develop and implement strategic plan, develop operational plan, and so on. You have these things, everybody knows about that. We do grant and funding support, industrial aids and intellectual, so a lot of things that we are doing. It's a team that does a lot of things. I will show you a little bit what is happening. So support interdisciplinary research, communication, outreach. This was this is number 4 of 3 because it was forgotten. We cultivate and accelerate entrepreneurial venues and provide comprehensive support to startups and so on. So this is commercialization and entrepreneurship part that we also do. But somehow UHub is seen separate from ARID, which is, we put it together. So what we do is we take care of certain policies, funding research policies, research ethics policy, IP policy, and new ones are coming related to research. We have those. And we have exceeding procedures. So we are working a lot on developing procedures so that we can automate processes and increase the quality. This is all present. Services which are available to researchers, we have this applied research on my Udst, and this is the place where things will be delivered and they will be available, and hopefully we will have the whole automated system within a year or so. That was according also to operational plan. It is not that simple. So we have just pre-award things. We have all these different types of industrial stakeholders. Horizontal, we have process, timeline, limitations, but it's a lot of things to manage and put together. And this is what our team is doing. Processes and things like that. So there is a lot of things that we can improve, and we are working on that. Then when we go for stakeholder engagement, you can see that we have on one side academic stakeholders and we have interactions here. We have industrial stakeholders on the right, and we need to actually do all of these things. But look, our strategic goals are there. Alignment with the National Vision 2030, address real-world needs. So all of these things are feeding into achieving strategic goals of the university, and we are doing administrative support of that. I'm waving my hands too much, so I'm hitting microphones. Sorry for that. Okay, so services to be available, we are planning those services that will be streamlined. And We are also setting university committees. All of these are in the final play. We have agreement. We were negotiating how to do it, who will be populated, what are the requirements, and I expect that it will be finished by the end of this month, and we'll start with full business with that. Research and Innovation, Institutional Review Board, Graduate Studies Committee, Intellectual Property Committee, Sustainable Development. Some of them are already formed, and thank you, Dr. Rashid, for handing them over, because a lot of work goes into that. Okay, when I came here, I put 100 days goals for myself. I was not asked to that. I got a lot of freedom to do that, but I said, looked at this, and this is my first impression, and I set up a goals. Because from the first week discussions, I said, I want to set up ethics committee, or help to do it, set up students research chapter. It was group, but then we changed it to chapter. Start publication analytics, set up research committee, set up joint PhD programs. This is in our operational plan. Start Master of Science in Innovation and Entrepreneurship because of that, or initiate that. Then build a graduate studies unit, finalize website, enrich library resources, and do research clusters and research groups that lead into centers of excellence. So what happened is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 were achieved. 2 of those I found that somebody is already doing that kind of things, and it's in process. And the final one, we actually, rather than going from research group, research clusters, we already have centers of excellence. And I never had in my life that says, okay, you have to set up an institute, here is the building. And this is what happens here. And we basically need to generate the content. Usually you generate the content, and then but because this university is developing infrastructure, research infrastructure, and aiming for excellence, the support for that, some things come earlier, some things come later, and again, our job is to connect the dots and put it to a high quality. So, and this is still on my whiteboard. When I achieve that, I will wipe it and say I have done it properly. So, statistics. Now, what is the status? This is interesting. University of Doha for Science and Technology has 835 publications to date, as of yesterday. And most of them are in computer science, engineering, social sciences, energy, and so on. And we can see the distribution of publication areas is quite good. It's distributed. And the biggest one, computer science, is less than 18%. And we have also the biggest one is other areas, which means that we have diversity. In research, there is diversity, which means that we can pull from the content, which is we can do it. We have a basis for interdisciplinarity here. Then we go here, and this is the longer list, and we can actually decision sciences. So when you publish and you look for strategic goals of university and look at the areas, you can choose carefully what keywords you select and what goals you address. I will come to that later a little bit more. Collaborative organization. So see the power of data science. You can see everything which is happening, and it's at the press of the button. So our biggest collaborator is Qatar University, unsurprising, University of Tehran, and I don't know where is Amir Kabir. There's many universities which are there, and this is historically, it's true to last 10 years. Then I did the analysis of publications based on quartile, Q1 to Q4, and the number of publications per year. So we can see here that we have in 2024 has the largest number of publication, and of all 100, half have been done in the last 2 years, 2024 and 2023, which means that university is changing. The total number in the last eight years before is the same, is coming 2 years, and it's increasing. The good thing is that we can see that in top 10% of the journals, we have already 54. So it is 1/4 of publications are in the top 10%. This is good because it goes into university ranking in one or another way. And top 1%, we started publishing papers in top 1% journals. This is great, which means that we can, at least our collaborations can generate these kind of results. And one of the problems that we have is that sometimes reports are calendar years, sometimes they're academic years, so we do analytics that we can calculate them automatically. And the numbers are matching, but academic year is always behind. Okay, we know who are the big publishers in the university, and what is very important is that once when we move to university inherits our reputation on all past publications. So this is also good for this is a measurement of quality of faculty. So this is one of the things which is very important. And we have the list, but this information is available for practically everybody. Maybe some areas that don't go through normal publications and outputs are in the other areas, we need to consider them separately, but everything that goes through Scopus, all areas, they're all transparent. I did analysis of myself because I didn't want to offend anybody. So what it says is, I put myself, this is this SciVal from Scopus, and it says that I worked the last 4 years, my output field-weighted citation impact is kind of not very good for somebody of my status, right? You can see that, and it tells where I was looking, but one paper that I have here is quite good, promising. So this, we can do that, and we can see that I have high impact with a paper that I did as industrial collaboration. And why? Obviously, it adds value, at least in my project. And it tells where I publish computer science, engineering, medicine, so my publications are covering those multidisciplinary areas. And it tells what my publications are. On the far right, you can see how hot is the field. So you can choose in which field how to direct your publication and see what is the prominence of the field. High prominence fields give high citation as well. Okay, performance indicators. Oh, KPIs, right? Research KPIs, it says that top 10% citations, 12% of my publications last 4 years, 52% are international collaboration. International collaboration contributes to ranking as well. Then top percent journal percentiles, 28%. And I don't have much corporate collaborations. So this tells me that I need to change and balance what I have in my research. It informs me about what are the areas. Publication is high, this field-weighted citation index. I have that paper, and then I have some coming here, and I can see what areas and what follow-up I should be doing. So it gives me strategic advice on what I should be doing. I have to go quick through this because there are many of those. What was not captured is my patents. I was doing a lot of innovation, and I have 8 patent applications, 2 of them granted, 2 international, 1 I have design patents. So this is why my research output is not as strong as it should be, because if you do patent, you cannot publish before your patent is cleared. It doesn't catch that I did a number of prototypes and systems that we are using for smart health. So these are the kind of things that universities need to take into account and see what are measurable and easy measures, and what are those that university wants to have, and we need to have means to capture that. Okay, so grants. We have grants. I didn't put the monetary thing because it's more important to see how it's distributed. Total grants in history of UDST, 103, and 50 of that are active. So it's all new. So again, we are half of the work that was done in last 10 years is done in last 2 years. And we are moving forward. And we have a number of grants by the colleges. comparing them directly is not fair because colleges have performed in different periods of time. So we started comparing. Bottom line is that those who will be successful will be those who collaborate and get the best researchers put together so that they can provide the highest quality output. Money, that's good. The trends. So we can see that in the first year, 2023, of start of university, the average year in the past was outdone only in the first year, and then we have a very big jump, and we also see that in 2025, by March, we have more money in grants than it was in any years in the past. So this is a good sign. The question now is how we continue with that, maintain, and how we do sustainable growth in that. Because very high growth is also dangerous. Okay, so we have all the information about the grants, it's available, so basically we can do very good analytics and see which groups, which collaborations, which researchers are helping be very productive. This is the power of data analytics, and we'll be using it also to make decisions and advise people how to organize their grants. Then we have by countries, and we can see, I found it interesting, Iran has only one grant collaboration, but we have a lot of publication collaboration. I think I know the reason for that. Its ability to do payments in the past. And very important thing is sustainability development goals. So we can see what I find in publication is not matching what we have in our analytics of other things, because some of the goals we are performing well on publications, and some of the goals, poverty, of course, Qatar and poverty, that I can understand why it is difficult. It's not difficult, but why the research was not done, but industry innovation and affordable and clean energy is very big. It really shows what is the profile of the country. And what we need to do is so poverty and hunger, we can improve it because we have United Nations projects, so we need to promote them. And the whole thing, I want to show you this is the map. So every of these goals is related to ranking, and Arab ranking, and higher education ranking, and there is a formula for doing that. So if we carefully manage the keywords and how we write our papers with particular sections that we address some problems, we can improve the output. And we can contribute better to the goals, strategic goals of university, the country, and also improve the ranking of university. I am not going through all of these things, but you can say number of publications is in top 10% publications, and so on. This is for poverty, this is for hunger. We have the formula, and we have these things I will be sharing it with you so that you can design your research for better impact. Good health and well-being. In this case, it's proportion of research papers that are viewed or downloaded. So clicking on the website and providing papers is very important for that. And then multiple different goals. So it's a complex system in which we can do very good optimization. Quality education as well, and so proportion of graduates with a teaching qualification. So we have teaching, these masters in education will be contributing directly to this goal. Conferences and workshops, again, we have plenty, and what I have been asking people to give me the report from the conferences, so if we have documented evidence how this conference and event has contributed to the goals, and then we can send it as evidence to the rankers. And we have them, you know what they are. We also events and workshops for innovation and entrepreneurship. So all of that thing is, how about vision? Where does it lead us? So, get university ranking, get into top 100, get into top 500. What does it take to achieve this goal? And what is the timeline? This is what we should be talking about. Research groups, clusters, and centers of excellence. This is the flow that we have, and we have them organized. So this is our priority now, that we organize these things, populate it, and start applying for the grants in there. So infrastructure is there, and it's a matter of time. Research committee is there, will have advice, and we will be addressing things, developing policies all together for that. And I expect that this will be done by the end of the year, which is also according to the operational plan. On this thing, I think we are on time. Research groups, cluster, and centers of excellence, we have 2 of them, sustainability and food security and bioinformatics, and we clamp them together. So the whole thing looks like an institute already. Because data collected for food and agricultural projects in food security will be analyzed through bioinformatics because they're biological materials. So we already started looking for, finding the synergies, and we have centers of excellence in colleges, and you need to work with us on that so that we have the same structure and all the documentation ready together. Okay, so what is the answer? The answer is, this is actually a ClickK5 graph that we have between strategic goals. And we can create robust models and optimization strategies that will enhance performance of all of them. This is how I look at these things when it doesn't have to be automated, we can do it on paper because model is a model. And what I'm saying is, we have multi-objective activities. We have research activities UDST, and we can say each of research activities, how can it contribute to some of the goals that we have and maximize the number of goals. And the answer to me, one of the possible things is interdisciplinary project design, where we do define applied research. I have my strategic research direction. Then we do not only one application, but we do multiple applications, Europe, ARG, and industry grants. Then immediately we already have student engagement. Oh, this is strategic goal 3. And SDG goals, and we can do workshop where we define multiple outcomes, and produce patents, prototypes, articles, and policies, and we can develop effective internal procedures related to the whole process, and we can see how many strategic priorities we are achieving through that. So, grant management, every blue box is this, so we need to do that, and I want to thank to legal, I want to thank to faculty affairs and institutional excellence, because they're giving us enormous support in this by forcing us by deadlines that we need to complete something that actually improves the whole process, and actually having a deadline is very important. And they're also understanding if we cannot finish on the deadline, they say you have 3 more days. But this is fine with me. Conclusion. So UDST is committed to advancing modern research management practices that drive innovation and excellence. Our dedication to achieving success in global ranking, we match it with our focus on collaborative work across disciplinary colleges. This is my vision, the road to success. Encouraging effective participation from all stakeholders, we want to create a vibrant research community, basically the ecosystem that will be productive and moving into growing direction, so it's a growth. And we will together push the boundaries of knowledge and contribute meaningful to a better society in Qatar and globally. And we know already what it takes to achieve these goals. It's concerted effort. However, the key challenge is to match the fast time with significant outcomes. So it's fast, but we need to make it significant. This is all that I had today. Questions? We have 5 minutes. Please. Okay, I will answer one question while you are organizing microphone. How does our VPR office support startups? Does that include establishing new innovation businesses? We have actually UHub. And we have Celia Kacheni. She's working on that. and we are actually very eager to have you come and discuss these things. So basically, you can send email to me, or you can find Celia, and we will just start moving that. We love to talk about startups. Okay.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Dr. Halim, head of IT. In fact, you mentioned patents. So as you know, we are used to publish journal articles and conference papers. So we are not used to submit for patents, and it follows a different process than publishing a paper. So do we have any support, legal support, formal support as a research office to submit patents before to publish?
Exactly the same thing as with innovation. So I already can see that our problem was communication, because we have people who are eager to help on one side, and since I came here and I have a lot of experience with patents, I will be very happy to guide you. And this is, I love this section.
Thanks very much, Professor Vladimir, for the interesting presentation. You talked about research clusters, you talked about research group and the excellence centers. At the College of Business, we had this like shared information together, and you are supporting us to build the research cluster together as members of the research committee. I just wanted you to give us a kind of a hint what's the current process and the status of building up the research cluster, so that you can give an assurance to colleagues attending today, because we had a lot of sharing information to colleagues to assure them internally that we are working on it, because we are very keen to get updates from you as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. It's good timing, because we are actually doing the procedures for that, exactly for that. Okay, what are you doing to change the research culture in the university? For example, encouraging deans to support faculty for research and creating an enabling environment. Secondly, are you pushing for PhD program in each college as a part of strategy to increase research outcomes? This looks like a military question. Report. Okay, so what we are doing to change the research culture? I'm talking here. That's the first step, right? I'm talking to everybody. I have been talking to other people. I apologize if I didn't reach to everybody. It's short time, and basically, of course, we are talking to deans, and we are doing these things. You have to understand that this university is 3 years old. And think about when you have a baby, most of you have children, what do you do with the baby in the first 1 or 2 years? Do you scream and yell at them when they demonstrate they don't know how to walk? Or you actually help them and try all different methods? Particularly it's difficult for new parents who don't have experience. Second child, third child, easier. So what I'm saying that is, think about how would you do these things if you start and want to change something completely new, and what are the challenges? You have different environment, you have to retrain people, you have to get new people, you have to change the resources. Which comes first? One approval is coming later, one comes earlier. Nothing is coordinated because it's the nature of the business at the moment. And if you come from stable and mature organizations, then it's a problem, because this is not the environment for that. We are working to become stable and strong institution, but at the beginning we need to establish the basics. And people ask me, they say something is wrong. I say it's all my fault, related to research. How can it be your fault? You just came. I say, my fault is that I didn't come 2 years ago when it was needed. It's difficult to get right people to bring them across. This is international environment, and there are a lot of things to be done. So blame me for all of these things, because we are behind the schedule. I came too late. Okay, it's fine. Is this enough answer? Thanks for the
Dr. Vladimir?
Yeah.
One more question, and we have to wrap up. So we have...
One more question?
Yes, from here.
Thank you. I'm not sure how much specifics you can give, but as part of the vision or the plan, I'm just wondering, you've talked about grants, conference attendance and all that. I'm just wondering, in the scheme of all of that, is it part of the plan to have, no matter how small, a kind of internal grant? For example, what we have now is mostly tied to external grants. So if somebody applies for an external grant and doesn't get it, has to wait for another year. Right? So but if we have still internal grants, maybe on a rolling basis or cycles of 6 months, that will alleviate things a little bit. And also about conference attendance, I'm sure you know that as part of the research output of the university, how often and how many faculty members are able to attend conference. As things stand now, my understanding is that if I want to go and if I want to attend the conference, I have to take time off, paid time off, and all of that. So as part of the vision, is there any plan to incorporate some kind of support, maybe limited financial support and all that, to encourage people to attend conference? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. And I actually have a lot of these questions that people come. Dr. Salem can answer to that.
Well, thanks for the question. Actually, I want to just roll back a bit. For the last 2 years, and based on the data, you have seen that the number of research have actually grown from, I think, 78 publications in 23 to now I think we have 800 something, I think. So it does show there is a huge, effort being done by the community. That's number one. Number two is, I think we do welcome participation in conferences, and I think we have, I don't really have the statistic, but there are a huge number because there are a lot of them comes to me for signing. For people to participate in conferences all over the globe. So I think there is some maybe communication, maybe it has not been reaching to some of the colleagues. So I do know that there is a seed grant which is within the university. You do not have to be going to QRDI or other research funding. So that's something maybe need to be communicated to the community at the university. I do know that very well that UHub has been communicating to the community, and I think that's something we need to work in the communication, and that's why we were part of the Web Summit, which is a very large Web Summit, in 2 years in a row, and we do communicate to colleges. That's why through the communication, we have students have participated internationally, and maybe that's maybe some of the colleges, they should maybe work and do some better communication to their faculty. So I think there is some communication that we need to maybe work on, but I think please reach out to the Applied Research Office if you have questions and inquiry about what we are doing. And I think Dr. Rashid wanted to add some point here too.
Thank you, Dr. Sam. I just want to mention that the research culture, we started to build that research culture 2 years ago. And like Dr. Sam mentioned, from 78 papers just 2 years ago to 835. And if we see the rate of increase in terms of papers is going almost exponential, which means that many of our faculty now are engaged in research. We're bringing new blood, and the existing faculty that maybe they did not used to publish a lot, we see them coming with papers and so on. And like Dr. Sam mentioned, we have never declined any request for attending conferences and publishing and so on, provided that it has to be a conference that is recognized internationally. It's a reviewed paper, and we have clear guidelines for that. And the future, and we have seen also the number of projects and grants that we received in a very short period of time. We want to see this dynamic growing now that we have the research, the VP research office. We are establishing the processes, the procedures, cultivating more research culture, developing our center of excellence, and so on. We are very confident that this will makes us fly and get into the ranking maybe in a very, very record time. And I would like to thank all the faculty for the hard work. Although they had a very, very high load, teaching load, they contributed significantly to make this university shine in terms of research. Thank you.
And one of the important things is the clarity, and we are setting the research committee, and it will be job of research committee to define the whole things, because I myself as one person, I would be very uncomfortable to make policies. It has to be discussed, it has to have multiple experts, and once when we have this in a place, people will basically know what they're entitled to. And be with us, because again, it is a stage of where we are struggling just to actually get recognized as research university. I would like to see on this Google's page about UDST, this is excellent academic and research institution. That's a goal for research for us. And again, we will only do it if all of us together support each other and move forward.
Thank you, Dr. Vladimir. We apologize from anyone who have questions, and the time is not helping us. Please feel free to proceed and reach to Dr. Vladimir later on to ask your questions. Now we invite you to enjoy the lunch. Thank you.
Chef.